Hey, it's Oskar here from GoPrimate, and in this video I'm gonna answer the question where to do bodyweight rows and give you just a few options on where you can perform your bodyweight rows. So the first option you have here is a low chin-up bar. So here the chin-up bar needs to be low enough for you to be able to perform your rows here. If the bar is too high, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get a good angle when you're pulling, or then you just have to pull in a more vertical position. So this way it's going to be, not as much resistance, but for a beginner it might be very suitable. Option number 2 is you can perform them on dip bars. So again, almost the same as the first example, which is basically just a low bar, but usually dip bars tend to be low enough for you to perform rows pretty effectively. And when it comes to performing rows on dip bars, you actually have another option, and that is to actually go underneath the bars and put your feet kind of around and on top of the bars, and then you hold on to the bar underneath and perform rows from this angle. So this is probably not the most beginner friendly because you're going to be lifting more or less your whole body weight, which is going to be a lot of resistance, and the con here is that you can't really adjust the resistance that effectively. But if you want to perform full bodyweight rows, then this is a really great option for you. Option number 3 is going to be using a squat rack and a barbell. So for this you're always going to need some sort of a gym, so that's the kind of drawback here. But the pros are that you can quite easily adjust the height of the bar and therefore also adjusting the angle of where you're pulling. And of course, the more horizontal you are, the harder it's going to be, and the more vertical you get, the easier it's going to be. But that's a really good option if you happen to have a barbell and a squat rack available. You can perform your rows this way. Option number 4 is going to be a TRX. So very simple to set up, and this is actually the best option when it comes to attaching this to the corner of your door. And that also makes this very accessible for most people, because all you need is a TRX and a door, and you can very easily set up your TRX this way and perform your rows very effectively. So that's a big pro for the TRX. It's very accessible, easy to set up, and most people have access to this. The next one, which is my favorite, is Gymnastic Rings. And the best thing with rings is that it doesn't matter how high the pull-up bar is, because you can simply adjust the height of the rings to a suitable height for you, and therefore giving you a lot of flexibility in terms of where you can perform your bodyweight rows. You can also very easily adjust the difficulty when doing this on rings, but on a straight bar, unless you do the barbell version, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get the resistance met in an effective way. So that's why I'm a big fan of rings. But again, let's be clear here, when it comes to attaching something to the door, then the TRX does take the win here. Now you can do the same setup with rings, but it's not going to be as convenient, the actual setup of it. But once you've done it, you can perform rows from a door very effectively using gymnastic rings. I would say the best options will probably be rings and a TRX, just because they are so available to you and very accessible, and gives a lot of flexibility in terms of where you can actually perform your bodyweight rows. And you can easily adjust the grip here as well. You can go neutral, pronated, supinated, and you can do different types of rows here as well. Now, of course, you can do the same with a straight bar. You can go pronated or supinated, but rings and TRX do give you the most freedom of choice when it comes to what specific type of row you want to do, and also therefore what muscle groups you want to emphasize the most. And if you're wondering on where you can hang your gymnastic rings, then I have a video that I will link in the description that you can have a look at, that's going to teach you where to hang your gymnastic rings. Now, if you got some value out of this video, then please go ahead and leave this video a like, it's highly appreciated, and subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to optimize your bodyweight, ring, and at-home fitness training. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.